Hi. Hi there. Hi, Mom. Hi, Roberta. Hi, Scott. Hi, Max. Just waiting for Michele to join. He's in Spain, and I'm really excited to introduce you guys to him. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Finally warm and sunny here in Los Angeles. It feels nice. I hope you guys are safe and enjoying your mornings or your afternoons. Let's see if he's in here yet. Not yet. All right, there he is. All right, guys. Here we go. Connecting. There he is. How are you doing?
I'm
Good evening to you. Is it 9 p.m. in Madrid, right?
Yeah, it's evening here.
How are you doing? How was your day?
Oh, busy as always.
Yes.
Yeah, projects to organize, people to put in the calendar. I never feel alone in this period, even if I'm quarantine.
Well, how many days have you been in quarantine or quarantine?
For 1 month, more or less.
For a month?
Yeah.
Same for me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm just directing my efforts towards another project. I left painting. I think that there was something more fun to do, and more, helping myself. Maybe maybe people. Just invented a project, inviting them to pose for me for a portrait.
Yeah.
And I find it really interesting to spend time with them, chat, draw them. It's been very cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, actually, I had somebody that follows me on Instagram message me and was like, "Hey, there's this guy that's doing these incredible drawings on IG Live. You should check him out." I was like, "Hey, I already know him. It's amazing." And so, because of that, we reconnected, and I'm so happy that we did. We met. Just for everybody that's joining, this is a Thinking of Art call series that I started recently during this time in order to bring artists and experts that really love art forward so we can have a really interesting dialogue. And Michele and I met in Los Angeles. God, when did we meet? Like last year?
Yeah,
late last year?
In November, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So we met through a mutual friend who's actually a big supporter and collector, and he's actually going to try to join the IG Live. So I'm hoping that he does join and he can ask questions as well. But for those of you that love art, that love paintings, Michele is an incredible figurative painter. He recently published a book, which I'll hold up here, that published his works for the last 16 years. Or 16 years of work from 2003 to 2019. And the one thing I think that it's really relevant that we have this conversation with you today is because the focus of a lot of your work really is about individuals who are really in isolation or kind of loner mentalities. And at least that's my perception. And I really think that the power of your work is you've captured so beautifully throughout the course of your career. So I know you're going to give us a sneak peek into some of the paintings you're creating for an exhibition in Madrid later this year, which we're excited to see. But he's an oil painter and he paints usually very large pieces of work. But I really want to talk about and just jump into, you grew up in Italy and talk a little bit about that. Like you grew up in Italy and now you're in Madrid, but give us a little background about yourself.
Yeah, I've grown up in South Italy, a rural area. It was really poor, and I didn't really think that I would dedicate myself to painting because it wasn't really practical. Then my father took us to Milan and it's when I decided to go to art university. And from there, I started to just go abroad to study, because I was not happy about studying in Milan, but how I was being taught. So from there, I never went back to Italy. I just went around the world, and I lived in Madrid, I lived in London, Glasgow, I lived in Miami, many places, just moving around a lot, never having a studio stable, because stability is also a dream. It's not something that happens in big cities.
Sure.
And things change all the time, and artists populate some areas, then they are developed, then you have to move. So I just thought that I would get rid of so many stuff that I had in my studio and just go rent a place anywhere in the world I wanted to go, and use that experience to find
inspiration.
Yeah, material for my paintings.
Yeah. So the new project, can you talk a little bit about the new project that you're working on right now? I'm going to shift gears a bit.
Yeah, just now I'm inviting people to pose for me for my portraits. I call quarantine video conference portraits, and it's a way of getting out. Although I am in my studio, for me and for the people that pose for me. So it's been really interesting, because I've got this very international range of
Following.
Yeah. So I've got people from just everywhere in the world. And the thing is that when I started it, it was in the beginning of the quarantine. And I thought, okay, there must be somebody in the world that is not in quarantine. But actually nobody is in the street. Everybody is staying home, is sharing the same experience. And I said, this is an historical moment. I really, do something about it. I couldn't just keep painting whatever I was painting before. I had to change with it. Yeah. And it's really enjoyable. I get so many interesting conversations, getting to know how people live these moments, and how people, even giving voice to them.
Sure.
They are just anybody who wanted to pose for me and signed up in the right moment, because now I don't have places anymore. But telling the stories, and every story is extraordinary.
Well, thank you for sharing a little bit about that. And speaking of stories, I want to hear about this story. Everybody can see it. There is a painting that he did. And initially, whenever you see it, you see two guys in bed, right? Two people, and then you see the girl. So I think what's interesting is that every painting that you've done has some interesting story behind it. So can you tell us about this image? Because when you first look at this, we all have a natural judgment of what's happening there, but you actually have the true story. So can you share a little bit about this painting?
Yeah, all my
hold it up again.
Story. So they are narrative, and I met these two guys that are twin brothers. They are actually going to pose for my project of portraits from live conference. And so I met these two guys in London. They live in a small room, and they don't even have a place to put a bed, because they work in the same room.
And they're brothers, yeah?
They're brothers, yeah. And whenever it's night, they unroll a futon. A futon is kind of bed that you can roll up in the morning. And if they have an adventure with some girl, then they don't have place for her to, just have an intimacy with just one. So They have to go together. And I just wanted to represent that, tell that story, which I find very interesting. And, you know, the same way I told this story, but when I meet people around the world, so many stories come to my mind. That's
Yeah.
how I create my work.
Well, I think the way that you capture the emotions of the people, and I'm just looking through your book now to try to find another image to show people. Like here is a really interesting painting. Like this girl, what did she have, a bicycle wreck, or like what happened to her?
Yes, it just. I did a whole project on people falling, and to me, maybe it's very representative in this moment in our story, because it's the moment when you fall, you maybe were going fast, you don't know what happened, but you got distracted. But when you fall, you stop. Your life in that moment is suspended, and you think about what's going on in your life. And maybe you then take action to change it, or, you know, just go with it.
Here's another painting.
Yeah, this is more an older painting from 2007, I think. It's from the series Urban Chic, where I would just portray people in the street.
Amazing. And you're obviously an oil-based painter. What this piece is one of the larger pieces, right?
Yes, yes. This is the decision. It's a moment. I tell a story of a breakup here. Yeah,
Okay.
the guy is nervous. He told maybe something to the girl. She's thinking. She's looking into the change, the future.
Right. So how do you meet these people? So basically, whenever you're living in different cities, where were you living whenever you met that couple?
That couple, the twin brothers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that one too.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because I was living in London. But for example, this couple, I get you. This couple is the girl. I met her in an Airbnb. So she was the host, and she just she just put her hat one day in the morning. I saw her and the light coming, you know, shadowing her face through the hat. I said, I really should paint you. But then I didn't know what to paint with there. And then I just took inspiration from a story of my a breakup that I had. I said, maybe, you know, do you have a friend who can pose with you? And maybe, you know, I tried to set up the story in that moment based on my experience.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Here's another one. This is a beautiful painting. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, this one is a moment in my life where I was with this girl and I was painting her a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was my girlfriend.
She was your girlfriend at the time. Yeah. This is her, I think, as well, right?
Yes, yes. We were traveling.
Beautiful.
I would always have this this girl in front of me, and I was always thinking about possible paintings to do with her.
Yeah, they're incredible. They're really amazing. I mean, here's another one, you guys, to give you an idea of the beauty of your work. It's really incredible.
Thank you.
And how you capture the emotions. What is the process that you go through? And what is one of the most difficult elements of your painting style that you've had to kind of train, I guess, figure out during the many years of painting? Is it capturing the emotions, or is it the hands, or is it the coloring, or what?
Painting a figure is always challenging. It's always difficult. So every figure has its challenges. Mm-hmm. But I think that what interests me most is the capturing the emotion and telling something that is going through people's minds, also through the environment. So there is a broken car, or there is a stormy landscape, something is ominous going to happen. It's that is what I'm interested in, the inner world of people.
Okay. Can you, I think people are making so many comments right now, which we'll get to some of the questions in a little bit, but can you give us a little tour of your studio and what's behind you right now? That's one of the new paintings that you're working on?
Yeah, let me see if I can turn the camera. How do you, here, okay. So,
wow.
This painting, I still had to put it on stretcher bars. And because before I was always working with paintings already stretched, but now because I'm traveling all the time, apart from this quarantine.
What does she have in her hand? Is that a shoe?
She's having a shoe.
What is she? What is she angry about?
Just two girls that are having a fight, maybe over I don't know. Just they are friends. They are very good friends, and I met them in San Francisco. And they go out together. They dress really, really beautifully, like this. I just say, okay, let's not tell something like very positive. Let's tell when you fight. You know, let's tell something more interesting. The other side of the coin, you know.
Beautiful. What else? Show us around. Show us more.
So here I get a lot of light in the morning, well, in the day, but now it's...
And if you guys have questions, like submit your questions and we'll answer them. Wow, that's beautiful.
So this painting is of people who are just having fun or just getting the anger out, destroying the windows of an old
building. Yeah.
Building. And it's called One of Them. This girl has, you know, the stones in her hand. It's just giving a face to these people who we consider they are, you know, delictive. I don't know the term.
Delinquents, yeah.
Yeah.
The English term.
Just give a face to one of them and show that she's a normal person. She must be going through a bad
She's going
moment.
through something. Absolutely right. You capture that beautifully. Wow, so great. And this is a painting that's going to be going in the new in the show in Madrid coming up this fall, right?
Oh, this is a painting that has already been exhibited. That it's in my studio here.
Oh, okay. Got it. And also, too, everybody, if you want to inquire on his work, definitely reach out to me. I have a private list of works that are available that I can share with you. Oh, that's gorgeous. Wow. We have a question. Did you always find the joy, purpose in painting? Hang on one second. Let me go back here. Portraits or in your journey, or did you also paint other subject and landscapes? It's a question that we have.
Yeah, I have painted everything. Landscapes, I've painted.
I love, can you go back to the surfer painting? I love that one.
Ah, yes, let's see.
Hang on. Oh, wow. Wow. Sorry about that. I interrupted you. What were you saying? That's a gorgeous painting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, what we were talking about, I forgot.
And on the subject matters, basically, did you find the joy in painting portraits in your journey, or did you also paint other landscapes at the same time?
I tried painting landscapes. I painted, you know, from life. I painted from photos. I painted still lives. I painted No, in the beginning, when I came out of university, I was staying home.
Oh, this is called Instagram. Too many people on Instagram right now. You're delayed a little bit. Bear with us. Okay. Come on, Wi-Fi. All right, we lost that part. You cut out for a second.
Yeah, I was saying that in the beginning of my career, before I found a gallery, I was painting my wardrobe, my bathroom, my kitchen, my living room, maybe dirty dishes. I never showed these works, publicly, because then I got into galleries with another kind of works. But I was painting from life, and it's completely different from what I did afterwards. Yeah, and also I painted in the city, in the streets, just to acquire those skills of observing reality and do something with it. But then I work from photography a lot just now, because I've chosen my method. I work from life when I sketch, when I draw, but I like to put photos together to form an image throughout several photos that I take. And it's something that reality doesn't give to me. I have to create.
We have another question. Does the idea come to you and then you pick the models, or do you look at certain people and then the idea clicks with you?
Both. So sometimes ideas click into me when just in the middle of a conversation, or just by observing people, what they do. And other times I just have a preconceived idea and I say, I want to find models for this idea. Just, it depends. I observe all the time.
I see a question on here. These are oil paintings. And I think we answered one other question. Okay. How's your daily routine? Like, what is your daily routine like? That's a question.
Yeah, it's very strange because I'm a night owl. I should say, because I go to bed at sometimes 7, 8, or 9 o'clock in the morning, and I stay up until I wake up maybe at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Then I start. I don't even have breakfast. I just go straight to the emails and messages. Maybe it takes an hour, and then I start to paint or draw. There is a lot of work to be done apart from creating, that is just website related, replying to people, email, just sending works that maybe I sell, or G-clay prints, whatever. So there is a big part of that work that is admins, maybe, and then 50% is painting and drawing. So
how many hours does it take to finish one painting? That's another question.
I don't know the hours because I'm not very disciplined. Sometimes I paint 10 hours. Sometimes I paint 3 hours.
Are you working on multiple paintings at the same time? I'm sure you are, right?
Not usually, but lately I do. Lately, I've started to do it because I've been traveling a lot, and I think that it's more productive to, when I'm traveling, just start one painting, put it aside, have another inspiration, because those moments in traveling time, my mind is going so fast. I just
Sure.
don't want to do one paint and maybe have it for the whole month that I'm in that place.
How do you keep, another question, how do you keep yourself motivated and find inspiration during this time? And do you ever have artist block?
Yes, I do. But I think that traveling is vital for me. So as long as I meet people, as long as I see places, if I'm stuck and I am in also have friends into the arts, so we talk about arty things. Then I have blogs because everything flows. Obviously, I do need to stop every time I finish a solo exhibition, which is
Sure.
every year. I need to stop for a couple of months at least because I need to look around and just find new inspiration.
That makes sense. Totally makes sense. So one comment is you're a night owl. So does that bring better creativity at night? And what's your favorite medium to work with while you're traveling?
Okay. I think that being a night owl gives me the possibility to just abstract myself from the world, just in my
You have
own.
less distractions, yeah?
Yeah, everybody has gone to bed. Nobody's writing me anymore or calling me. I don't have emails. I just have this time for just myself. And I can listen to music. I can listen to audiobooks. I can just switch from the world and be me and the piece that I'm creating. So it's really nice. Obviously, I always dreamt about changing this habit, but I never managed to. I had to accept it and maybe, have less time to do my shopping, have less time to do my admins
Sure.
in office
So
time.
are there some, this is another question. Do you have paintings that you go to for new inspiration?
If I have paintings already in my mind to
Right. Or do you go to certain paintings, go to a museum or go to a specific artist that you respect or like for inspiration?
Every time I go to museums, I get lots of inspiration. Not even just the images, but the way they are painted. I think that it's very important to go to museums and see what's been done and how it's been done. Also for humility, because I don't know if you say that word, humility, but
Sure. Humility, humble.
yeah, because when you see these huge works of incredible painters in museums, you get a sense of how much you have to improve yourself, have to struggle to get to a better level, and you get a lot of boosts. It's very important because painter needs to know that there is always something to improve.
Sure. That's beautiful, the way you describe that. Do you take inspirations from cinema? It's a question.
From cinema? I did. I take inspiration from all visuals, from photography, from social media, from advertisement, from cinema. It's just a continuous process of getting so many images in front of myself.
Sure.
And
it must be so difficult to decide like which image that you're drawn to that you're actually going to execute and paint, because there's so many ideas. Can we walk around your studio a little bit more?
Yeah.
Can we go back to the painting with the surfer? Because I love to surf and I miss surfing, and I'm really drawn to that painting. So what's the story of this one?
Yeah, I went to Lima with Guillermo, another painter, Guillermo Oyagues, and we met this girl and her boyfriend. I just thought that they were so so cool and so particular that I wanted to paint them. I wanted to paint though something that is not the usual happy scene of a couple. So I wanted to give this mood that is worried about. Usually, I bring about associations of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
It's about thinking about the future, what's going to happen, the uncertainty. And well, it's the sea was very calm. I just took another photo for the sea, you know, with a little bit of wave,
beautiful.
and give this sensation that something can happen. Just that feeling of uncertainty.
Yeah, there's so much going on. Like, what is the surfer? What is he doing? Is he coming out? Well, he's coming out of the water. Well, he hasn't gone in the water because his hair is not wet. But is she trying to talk him out of going into the water? What's the guy, your friend on the beach, you know, doing? Why isn't he surfing with him? There's so many conversations that I could imagine that they're going through there. It's beautiful. Would you consider? There's one question. The person said, Antonio asked, I saw some hyper-realistic works of you. Why did you decide to turn into more of an impressionist painter? Do you consider your works as impressionists?
I was never, maybe in my very beginnings, I was hyper-realist, but sometimes, you know, this social media have brought us into a format that we see paintings not in real life, but in a screen, and they appear different from what they actually are. So my paintings are very big and reduced in a very small screen. They look so realistic, but the effect from our live view, it's completely opposite. You see brush strokes, you see lots of thickness against very washes of very thin paint. And it's always been, from my beginning, something that I wanted to develop. And I think that the smaller the work, the better you see. Or if I take a detail of the painting, then you see not a hyper-realism.
Right. Okay, a couple of questions. We have a lot of questions, everybody. Keep submitting them. These are great. Are most of your paintings sold before you finish, and how do you market your art?
Usually my paintings are, there is a big demand on my paintings. The fact is that I cannot fulfill that demand completely. And they are not sold before the just before the show, I publish the images and I get inquiries. My galleries get inquiries, but usually they are sold in shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you use any online platforms to sell your work, or do you only go through galleries? That was another question.
Every once in a while, I use clients come to me, and if I have some painting that hasn't been sold or whatever, then it's available for them.
Yeah.
But usually I sell through galleries.
Okay. And if anybody is interested in the paintings that are available that are not consigned to galleries, please reach out to me, because I have access to that inventory, and we can show you those images. So some incredible pieces that he has there in the studio. God, there's so many questions and so many more questions I want to ask you. We're at 35 minutes on this call. Could we do another follow-up call with you in a few weeks or so and kind of check in with you, see how you're doing, and go back into your studio?
I would love to. I would love to. This is
okay.
It's always nice to talk about art, to see, to interact with people. It's always cool.
And we have to stick together. You're alone, I'm alone. A lot of us are alone right now. And we really appreciate you taking us inside of your studio. Please be safe and healthy there in Madrid, and keep doing what you're doing. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. We have another call, live call tomorrow with Jade Dosco, who's a New York-based photographer. So please join in for that. But right now, I'll end the call and then post it on my story so you guys can watch it again. Michele, I'll talk to you soon. Sleep well over there.
Okay, you too. Take care.
All right, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.